Okay, welcome everybody to our first Zoom webinar, which is really cool. And we are so excited to welcome Dr. Hans Finzel, the wonderful husband of our National Marketing Director, Donna Finzel. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Hans. First of all, he's an extremely successful author, speaker, teacher, and trusted authority in the field of leadership. Hans is the author of 9 books, including his bestseller, The Top 10 Mistakes That Leaders Make, which is excellent. I've read that, by the way. He has a great legacy in leadership. He served as president and CEO of just an amazing nonprofit company called World Venture for 20 years. And today, he and his wife, Donna, lead HD Leaders, which is devoted to training leaders around the world. Hans is a chief leadership guru on the podcast, the Leadership Answer Man, which is excellent, by the way. So we so appreciate you being on with us and just sharing your time and knowledge of Evernote. I know many of us have wanted to streamline and get more efficient with our information, our business, our life, and you're the perfect person to do that. So I really, really appreciate you being here, Hans.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm glad to be here with everybody. I assume you can see my screen now?
I can.
I have been using Evernote I discovered it about 4 years ago, and actually through Michael Hyatt, if you all know Michael Hyatt. By the way, there are 35 million users, so it's got to be pretty decent. But I'm excited to give you this training today, and I just want to give you an overview. When Jennifer first mentioned that she was thinking about getting into Evernote and that the NMD call you all were talking about, maybe getting into Evernote, she said, we need to learn to work smarter, not harder. And I thought, man, that's what Evernote's all about. Here's what I'm going to cover in the webinar. And this is, some of you are users. You're using Evernote. Some of you are beginning users. Some of you are maybe advanced users, and then I know there's some of you that are just listening and you're thinking about using Evernote. So for all those groups, this would be the perfect presentation. I'm going to start by telling you what I'm going to tell you. Number one, what not to use Evernote for. There are 2 other apps that I want to recommend that you should not use Evernote for. Number 2, the top 10 reasons why Hans and Donna love Evernote. Number 3, how Evernote organizes your information. Number 4, the beauty of Evernote. It is amazing. Number 5, 2 killer features of Evernote called Web Clipper and email forwarding, which means you can clip anything that you find on the web and send it right to Evernote, to the notebook you want. Same with email. Number 6, how to install and get going on Evernote. And it's available on all platforms, and how to get more training in Evernote. So that's what we're going to do. So first, let me tell you about, and I'm, by the way, using Evernote right here. I made these notes in Evernote, and one of the cool features of Evernote is that you can go into presentation view, which I just did. So see, here's my notes now, and I'm going to just use this for a little while. First, let me say, do not use Evernote for these 2 things. To-do lists. I mean, you can, but there's a much better app for to-do lists. It's called Wunderlist. Of course, it was developed by Germans. Who on planet Earth can do lists better than Germans? It's based in Berlin. It has 13 million users. It's free. And it was just purchased by Microsoft last week, which I think is kind of sad. I hope they don't ruin it, but Wunderlist. And let me just say, Donna and I share a lot of lists on Wunderlist. So if like we have a grocery store list, it has Trader Joe's, it has Costco, it has Vitamin Cottage. And if I feel like we need something from one of those stores, I can put it in there and she sees it when she goes to the store. Really cool. I also use one of the lists in Wunderlist to share with my virtual assistant that works for me. So don't use Evernote for to-do lists. This is a much better app. Again, it's across all platforms. Another thing is passwords. I hope you all are not committing the cardinal sin of using one password for everything. That's the first thing you got to stop doing. Secondly, you don't want to keep all your passwords in some Word file. or some note on your iPhone, because this is increasingly a huge problem. Best thing we have found, and then there's millions of users of 1Password. It's also free, and it is a killer app that, again, goes across all your platforms, and it stores all your logins, all your passwords. I have all my banking information there, all my bank account numbers, et cetera, et cetera. So don't use Evernote to store your passwords or to do your to-do list. All right, top 10 reasons why Hans and Donna love Evernote. And I said, I just checked last night, Evernote has over 35 million users. So there are other things you can use out there, but I think there's nothing finer and better that works so seamlessly across all platforms. And I'll talk about that a little bit more here in the list. Number one, declutter your clutter. This is a great searchable organization system.
Hans, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so your work smarter, not harder slide is on top of your presentation.
It is?
For us. I don't know why. Can you minimize?
Oh, like that? Now what do you see?
There we go. Now we can see it.
All right, I guess I can't do presentation mode, but that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So I had somebody that I was talking to Evernote about, and they said, well, I use Microsoft Word. I have all these folders and all these files, and I'm like, you don't understand Evernote. Just the searchable organization system is amazing, and I'll demonstrate all this stuff here in just a moment. So you can declutter your clutter and get rid of all those little sticky notes everywhere. Number two, beautiful interface for smartphones and tablets. And I'm going to show you some screenshots of what Evernote looks like on your iPhone or your Android or your tablet. Beautiful. Love just a nice, attractive interface. Number three, seamless automatic syncing across all platforms. You can use it on a PC, a Mac, phone, any smartphone, any tablet, even web-based. They have a web-based browser. So say you were at a hotel, you don't have any device with you, you could log into Evernote on the hotel's computer in the little business section, and boom, there you are. But it syncs like spokes of a wheel. Every spoke would be a different device that you have, and they all sync to the hub of the wheel, which means, and used to be you'd have to push a little button to synchronize, but you don't have to do that with Evernote. It's automatic. It's constantly syncing to the mothership. So the seamless automatic syncing is so cool, because I can be on my computer and I say, hey, Donna, would you remember to get some broccoli at Vitamin Cottage or something, and boom. And that's the same with Wunderlist. It's seamless across all platforms. Number four, and this is huge, the notes that make up the bulk of Evernote. You can have photos, charts, diagrams, etc. It has a built-in camera in Evernote. For example, I'm going to show you how Donna uses Evernote at conference to take notes from talks, whether it's a regional or the national conference. And say you're taking notes, and all of a sudden she's on her iPad, and the screen up there is just amazing. And so she just holds up her iPad, clicks the camera, and that screen was embedded right there in her conference notes that she's taking. You can also just drag photos or graphics right into your notes. Number five, Web Clipper. Send great web content right to your notes and notebooks, and I'll show you how that works. Email to Evernote. This is amazing, where you can send any email you have right to Evernote, and I'll show you how that works. But that's so cool if you have, for example, I'm working on a trip to China right now, and my travel agent is sending me stuff, and the people I'm going to be with are sending me emails, and I just forward them right to Evernote, and it pops them into my China file on Evernote. Number seven, reliable. We've been working with it for over 3 years, and we've never lost any data or had a crash with Evernote. That's amazing. Never had a problem. Number eight, cloud storage. I know Sean will like this. Cloud storage. It's all stored in their server on the cloud. Like I said, the hub of where everything is stored is not on your device, but it's stored in the cloud on the hub. Lose your computer? No worries. Throw your drop your phone in the swimming pool? No worries, because it's all stored in the cloud. Number 9, the chat feature with your team and collaboration. This is huge for us in Juice Plus. For example, Jennifer, you have an assistant, and you could have some of your notebooks that are shared with your assistant, and so she has access to the notebooks, so you can do tremendous collaboration with each other. And number 10, share notes and notebooks with your team. Anything you put in Evernote, there's a little tab where you just hit share, and you can take that note and email it to somebody or text it to somebody. Evernote also has a chat feature, so it's easy to share notes. You don't have to copy and paste it into a Word document and then send it on to somebody. You can easily share. So those are the top 10 reasons why Hans and Donna love Evernote. Well, let's get to how Evernote organizes your information. Think about a library. There are 3 pieces to the organization. There are stacks, notebooks, and actual notes. There's no limit to how many notes you want to take. I'll talk at the end about which version of Evernote you should purchase, and I'll tell you right away, I think you should get the premium version. It's only $50 a year, the same cost of our distributorship. And with the premium version, you get unlimited storage and something else that makes it very important. But basically, you've got notes, stacks, and notebooks. So I thought, well, let's think about the library. Anybody been to a library lately? They're great places. Now that we have grandkids, it's interesting. There's a resurgence of people going to the library. It's kind of cool. It's a wonderful place. So here's a library. You guys remember what a stack is? So here I made this little, of course, you can annotate. I just did all this in Evernote. It's got all these cool little annotation features. So these are 3 of the notebooks that I have in stacks, excuse me. I have a travel planning stack with lots of notebooks. I have a Juice Plus stack with lots of notebooks, and I have personal stuff. I'm going to demonstrate that just in a minute. So you see that Juice Plus stack? Well, then that pink arrow points to notebooks. 3 of the notebooks I have is conference, team members, and videos. And then within a notebook, what do you have inside of a notebook? Lots of notes, lots of paper. So that's the 3 organizational pieces of Evernote. You don't actually have to do stacks. Some people just do notebooks if you want to be more simple. But eventually I have probably 20 stacks. And then in those stacks, I have dozens and dozens of notebooks. And in the notebooks, I have, for example, and I'll show you. Better to show you. So stacks are huge super notebooks like Juice Plus, personal, family finances, children, business, travel planning. Notebooks, lots of notebooks within a stack, and unlimited notes in each notebook, just like pages in a notebook. All right. Everything good, Jennifer?
Awesome.
Okay, great. All right, the beauty of Evernote illustrated. Seamless syncing, you do nothing. Here's something really important to remember. Build your Evernote system on your Mac or PC or your web-based browser, not on a tablet or a phone. It's very hard to get the organizational system going on a phone or a tablet. You really need to build it on your PC or your Mac. And then you'll see how seamlessly, of course, it translates over to your smart device. So for example, these notes that I'm sharing with you right now, here's a screenshot of my iPhone. So everything that I'm showing you I'm using my Mac, it's right there in my iPhone. So I could do the same presentation from my iPhone because it's just all there beautifully. So this is a screenshot of my Evernote in my Mac. And I'm going to show you a couple of things. I want to point out shortcuts, recent notes, presentation mode. And I'm going to switch over here. Hopefully this will work. And, oh no, actually I don't need to do that. Excuse me, I'm just gonna, let's see here. I'm gonna click on that. There we go. So now I'm gonna click down. You can still see my screen just fine, Jennifer?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, so here's my whole Evernote. Now we're actually live in Evernote. And you'll see there's an inbox here. I have books, China, my books that I've written, my planning, HD leaders. Oh, by the way, it's alphabetically organized. These are stacks. And notice how they're alphabetically organized. And here's my Juice Plus stack. And under there, I've got names of everybody. I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of hard with names. Charts and information on the business. Okay, you see what I just did? I went from Juice Plus stack, charts and information on business is a notebook. Then I click on that. These are all my notes. I have 1, 2, 3. I got about 20 notes in here that are on the charts. And here's one I use a lot on my phone, videos and text. You know how we like to text stuff to people, short little videos. So here's all the little videos that I can then grab from my Evernote on my phone and text it right to. I did this yesterday to a lady at the bank who was interested. I sent her the farm to capsule video. Okay, so that's
good job.
that's so stacks, notebooks, and over here on the left are shortcuts, and these are really, really cool. You can create shortcuts for stuff that you use a lot. For those of you who've been to the image seminar, you know about affirmations. So the first thing on my shortcut are my affirmations, and it's just a note, and there's my affirmations. I have just stuff that's really I get to a lot. Juice Plus names, Juice Plus videos. That video thing I told you about, because I use it so much, I made it a shortcut. How do you make a new shortcut? Well, it's pretty easy. If you're in a notebook somewhere, see, I'm right here. I decide I want this note to be a shortcut. I just drag it over to shortcuts. Piece of cake.
Awesome.
Another cool thing is recent notes right below the shortcuts. Hey, guess what? I need to get right back to this training. So there it is. The last 5 notebooks that I accessed. For example, I just took my bumper off my car because I'm getting it painted. We're going to Winter Park this weekend. I'm going to do some mountain biking. So I put a map in there of where I want to try to ride. But I'm going to go back to our training. So now we're back on my training sheet. And let's see where we are. The beauty of Evernote. I've taken you on a tour. Okay, now this is Donna's PC. This is just a screenshot of her computer. One thing you'll learn about Evernote is it looks different on different devices. And PCs, I'll tell you when we get into the installation how to install it on every device, but it looks a little different on the PC, but it's basically the same thing. You see she's got her shortcuts here. She's got notebooks, and here's her notes under Juice Plus Business GoPro notes. So you see that? So it's a little different on a PC. Now I want to show you the beauty of the phones. How beautiful. These are 3 different screenshots from Donna's iPhone. The first one is like the home screen for Evernote. Up here on the top is settings. And in the settings, you can change the view of what shows up here. Hey, don't you love the green? Mm-hmm. Green's kind of like my new color right now. And for the last few years, as I've launched my Encore, and I just love the green. I think it's very fresh and beautiful. You can change the appearance somewhat on all the devices, but the green is the standard. So you'll see she has her shortcuts, and if she clicked on here, you'd see her shortcuts. Recent notes, you click on here to get to your notebooks. So then the second screen here, I just showed you a screenshot of her Juice Plus. Juice Plus General is her stack. And under that stack are all these notebooks. And you can see there, it says under business and numbers, there are 3 notes. Under Juice Plus Conference, there are 7 notes. And then this third shot is just a little more showing you the notebooks. So that's how it looks on an iPhone. Now, I happen to be a user of an iPad. It looks pretty well identical on an iPad as it does on the iPhone, but it gives you, isn't that beautiful? I just love the interface, and it is so easy to get around. Up here, you can chat with other people, collaborate. You can make lists, set reminders, go right to take photos, text, but these are some of the, this is the way it looks on my tablet. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is 2 killer features of Evernote, Web Clipper and email. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to clip an article and put it into a notebook. And then I'm also going to demonstrate, I'm going to try to, I think I can demonstrate how to do the email. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to my web browser, if I can find it here. Let's see here. Okay, I think that should be working. Jennifer, is that showing up there?
I see it.
Okay, so for example, I found it. All right, so I was looking for a new device. So say I found this website, and I've got to move my screen here a little bit. Notice on the very top right of my web browser, see the little elephant? Oh, the cute little elephant. That's the web browser. And now you can, it's called the Web Clipper. And once you have Evernote, you just go into Google and search Web Clipper for Evernote. And Google is so smart, it knows what kind of device you're on. And there's a different Web Clipper for the different browsers. I use Firefox. There's one for Firefox, for Chrome, for Safari, I don't think maybe some of you still use Internet Explorer, who knows? But you have to download that little extension, and then you have that little Evernote. So let me see. Okay, so I found this little device. I'm thinking I might want to buy it for my computer. So I go over here to the Web Clipper, click on that little device. I got to move I don't know if my face is at the bottom or the side, but you see there's the Web Clipper on the right. And I can save the whole article. I can just bookmark it. I'm just going to go ahead and save the whole article. Okay? And then I just hit save. And basically, it's sending it to Evernote. And I'm going to show you where it sends it. There are actually ways you can send it to so see, it says it clipped to, oh, wow. It's so smart. I have a technology folder, and it figured out that's where to put it.
Wow.
So that article is now in Evernote, and I'll show you where. Okay, so that's called the Web Clipper. That's really, really critical. All right, now we're back here. We're back in Evernote, and I'm going to show you where I'm going to go over here to my notebooks. And I'm going to scroll over here to my personal stuff. I got lots of cool personal stuff. And under technology, boy, isn't that an important thing? This is where you can put all kinds. For example, I have all my home screenshots of all of our devices with the serial numbers. So if you lose your iPhone or your device, you may need the serial number. But let's see, what was the name of that thing? Let's see. Where did it go? There it is. I just hit, sometimes you see this little sync window, this little wheel up here. I noticed it wasn't there yet, so I just hit the little wheel. It syncs every 5 minutes automatically, but if you wanted to sync sooner, you just click the wheel. There it is right there. Wow. Is that ever cool or what? Wow. That's called the Web Clipper. That's an amazing feature. Now, I also want to show you how to do email forwarding. Okay, I'm looking at my time. We're great on the time. Now we're going to go back to my my notes here. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. We're going back to Evernote training. Now this next thing is just as powerful as the web clipper, and this is called email forwarding. Get to my notes. Now, once you sign up for Evernote, you get an Evernote email address. Now you can, if you're already in Evernote, you've already signed up, you can find your already assigned Evernote email address at, and we're going to give you all these notes. They'll be parked on the Peak Team website with this video. So I'm not going to take the time, but in every Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, this shows you where you can find your unique email address that they assign you. And this is mine right here. hfinzel.blah-blah-blah.evernote.com. So why is that important? Well, I'll show you. What you want to do, you want to set up this email address as a separate contact in your contacts. So here's a screenshot of my contacts. And what I did is I set up Evernote, and the reason you do this is so you don't have to remember what that email address was. All you have to do is forward anything to Evernote and it'll pop in your email address because you've got a contact for your Evernote email. So I just call this contact Evernote upload, and here is my Evernote email address. See it right there? So I'm going to demonstrate how you do this. I'm going to go over to my, let's see, my Outlook. Okay, now I'm on Outlook. There's Jennifer's reminder about the training this morning. Now let's see. Okay, here's, let's see, where's something. You guys are seeing all my stuff here. Okay, so here's a guy that I'm working with. Say I want to save this. So I click on this, you know, and I hit forward, and I just type EV, and it's already there because I have the contact. See, Evernote upload, and I could change. I could actually put in the subject line Med send because he's one of my clients, and then I just send it. Boom. It's going to go to Evernote. Now, if you don't put anything in the subject line, it's going to go into your inbox, which I'm going to show you now in Evernote. So let's go back to Evernote and see if we can find that. Okay, where's my little screen at the top? Oh, there it is. By the way, Jennifer, this is a killer program. I'm loving it.
Oh, Zoom? I know, me too.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm back in Evernote. I'm going to go ahead and hit sync. Normally, anything you just forward to Evernote will end up in your inbox. There it is. What do you know? Mm-hmm. See? Now I can click on it and move to Notebook. Here's all my notebooks. So I just come down here, HD Leaders, MedSend, move. Kaboom! There it is. Wow. Is that cool or what?
It's awesome.
So this week I was looking for some new kids to cut our grass, and somebody told me about these two high schoolers that have a little grass cutting service. They said their sign is pasted on the neighborhood mailbox. So I went over to the mailbox and I took this picture of my Evernote, right? Isn't this cute? So I just took the picture right off the mailbox, and now I can file that in my personal family stuff, right?
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? So those are, again, notebooks. All right, let's go back to the training. Just a couple more things.
My wheels are turning, Hans. All the things I'm thinking of using this for.
It's limitless. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. So I showed you, this is really important. Again, remember, Web Clipper, to do that, you have to install the little Web Clipper. It's called an extension, and no matter what browser you're using, you install that Web Clipper, and then email. You can find your email. And by the way, Evernote has an amazing help. If you just go to evernote.com and once go into support and type any question you have, and and it'll give you the answer. For example, I realized yesterday that there were different ways to find where is my email address depending on your device. And so I just went into Evernote Help and said, how do I find my email address? And boom, these 4 steps came up depending on what device you have. And don't forget to make a contact. Now, I put the word Hans in there. You just don't need to put your name. You need to put Evernote. That's really all you need to put. And the address in your email line here. And then whenever you forward it to Evernote. Okay, let's talk about installing, how to install and get going on Evernote. Now, when you go to the App Store, there are a lot of apps Evernote related. And be careful that you look for the green elephant. It's actually a black elephant with a green background, but make sure this is the one you get. There are third parties that are creating Evernote spin-offs. Don't go there. You want to use the real deal. So make sure you're looking for the green elephant. Always look for the green elephant. Pricing. Here's their, thank you, Donna. She's fixing my.
That was bugging me.
By the way, everybody, sorry for the shameless promotion of my state here of Colorado. Donna's a native. I got here as quick as I could. Okay, here is their website. It's just evernote.com. I recommend the premium service for $49 a year. The free version will not work for you in a business, and I'll tell you why. You can use by the way, there are now 3 versions of Evernote. There's standard for free, there's the plus, and then there's the premium. The plus is okay for starters. In fact, the free one is okay for starters if you want to play around with it and decide whether you want to use it or not. I highly recommend it. Start with the free version. But 2 big issues with the free version that you only get in the premium version. And I'm going to demonstrate that. Well, no, I can't because it's on the device. But the biggest issue with the free version is accessing all your information offline. Now, on your computer, it's not a problem because everything I'm showing you is stored on my laptop. I don't have to have an internet connection. But on my devices, on my iPhone here, if I don't have the premium version, I cannot access my notebooks and notes if I'm on the free version. I have to be online. So when you get the premium version, you go into Evernote, and there's a little place where on settings, and I'm not going to take the time to find it, but I've got the premium account, and it tells you the features. But what you can do right there in the settings, it says Save Notebooks Offline, and you want to click that. Now you can, if you don't have a lot of memory on your phone, you need to change and get a phone that has a lot of memory. No, but if you have a memory issue on your phone, you can select which notebooks you want to store offline. But I click all notebooks. So if I'm on my iPhone on the airplane, or if I'm on my tablet up in the mountains and there's no cell phone coverage or no Wi-Fi, all the information is stored on your device. That's the biggest feature. The other big thing about the premium features is unlimited storage. So you can see I've got a ton of stuff, lots of graphics, lots of pictures, charts, and I never think about it because when you get the premium version, there's unlimited. Jennifer, you just popped up. Did you have a question?
No, no. Go ahead. I don't think everybody else can see me.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so, oh yeah, I was going to show you the 3 price plans on their website. I already talked to you about the offline notebook feature, but that's really essential. So I'm going to go back to, here we go, back to the internet. This Zoom works so great. I'm going to open a new tab. Then go to Evernote. Hey, anybody know Mythbusters? If you ever watch Mythbusters, that guy there is one of the big stars in Mythbusters. Okay, so you can see up here on the top right, download, but I want to go to the pricing sheet and show you there's basic for free, plus for $24.99 a year, and premium. And then, I'm going to move my little screen here. This shows you the features. So you see the free, you get 60 megs. You can share and discuss. You can sync across all platforms. But when you get over here, biggest thing, access notes when you're offline. Huge. Got to do that. Add pass lock, save emails into Evernote. Okay, you can't do that with the free one either. You can do that in these two. Search Office Docs, turn notes into presentations. I actually used that already today. Annotate, attach PDFs. You know, like I showed you that stack and the little arrows and everything. That's called annotation. And you can do that with photographs. You can turn anything into a PDF. So there's just a lot of features. For 50 bucks, it's totally worth it. All right. So I'm going to go back to Evernote. I want to show you another, before I tell you how to download the various versions, I wanted to show you another killer feature. See at the top right up here, search notes. Again, remember I told you there was a person who told me, well, you know, I have everything, I've heard two things. I have all these subfolders in my Outlook, so I've got everything organized there, or I have all these Word documents and I've got all these subfolders. Well, I think you're beginning to see that's a whole different universe than this. And the search feature, huge. Okay, I have a little note called trip packing. Y'all ever go on a trip and you forget stuff?
Never.
Well, I'm so dense that I have a little trip packing.
Oh, no, I always do, Hans.
Yeah. Okay, so I just typed in trip, and all of a sudden, every note that has the word trips just popped up. And sure enough, there's my trip packing. There it is. See, look at that. I've got for my short list for all trips, extended, and then I've got for the beach in Cabo, and then for overseas. Pretty cool, huh? So I just found, let me see, what else could I search for? Well, tires. We have a few guys on the call, right, Sean? So like for I keep a list here of my tires and when I've rotated them for each of my vehicles. You get the idea. Search function. It's
Hey,
amazing.
Hans, I'm curious. Does Donna keep notebooks on separate customers? So for instance, I did a customer survey yesterday with Brittany, my new assistant, who's getting on Juice Plus, and we did the paper survey. And I thought, at first I said, okay, so we need to do a file. And then I thought, wait a minute, maybe I should do an Evernote notebook on each of my customers, and then you could use that search function to easily find them.
Absolutely. You under Juice Plus stack, one of your stacks would be my customer. One of your notebooks would be my customers.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 50 customers, you got a note for every one of them. Donna uses this also when she's, for her team, for example, she has a notebook on her team members, and then a note for each team member. And that's a nice place just to put personal stuff and stuff you've talked about and maybe the issues that person's wrestling with, you know.
Love it.
Absolutely. Okay, we're almost done here. Let's talk a little bit more about how to install. And then Jennifer, we probably will have a couple of minutes for questions if you can, if anybody wants to send some chat questions to Jennifer. So if you're on a Mac, you download the Evernote app. You know, MacBooks, they actually have apps. So you download the Evernote app in the App Store. If you're in a PC, you'll download what's called the Evernote Desktop. And if you're on a smartphone, you just download the app for your particular smartphone. Same with tablet. And I'm going to add one more, web browsing. Web, B-R-O. WS, web browsing online. You can just actually there is a web-based version, as I think I told you, of Evernote, even if you don't have a device or you're at a hotel and you want to use their computer. And it's actually got a beautiful interface too. I was looking at that yesterday. So that's how you actually get it. Finally, how to get more training. And I think, Jennifer, is this the book you picked up?
Yes.
Yeah, and I bought, this is free on Kindle, The Complete Guide to Evernote from Beginners, Dummies to Advanced. Everything you'll need to know about getting started with Evernote. I downloaded this about a year ago. It's free if you're a Prime member in Kindle Unlimited. If you're not, it's $4.97. If you're book oriented and you like to read something, this is the one to get for sure. If you are video oriented, which I tend to love videos, I don't know if any of you all had a chance. Did anybody, let's use the chat feature. Did anybody actually watch the video I suggested, the 11 amazing features that make using Evernote so freaking awesome? Let's see if anybody answered that.
So the chat is just between you and I, Hans. They have to use the Q&A, I think. Is that
Yeah,
right?
in the Q&A, let us know. But I did give you this one link to a great short video. But if the best way to get more training video-wise is to go to YouTube and just search Evernote training, and you will come. There will be dozens and dozens of nice little videos that third-party people have put together. Not as good as this particular video that we're producing today, but a good set.
Okay, so Paige said the video was awesome, and Viv said I watched most of it. Yeah.
Good. Okay, I think that's it. That's the overview of how to get going with Evernote. Jennifer, maybe you have some questions, or we can also, through the, it's not the chat, but it's the Q&A.
Yeah, Scott Holden asked, how do you create stacks?
Thank you. I'm glad somebody asked that question, because let me close this.
Of course, it was a guy.
Yeah, really. Why will that not close? Okay. My little Q&A window just went crazy on me. All right, I'll show you. You don't see that Q&A window, do you?
Not yours.
Okay. There, now it's gone. Okay, it's really easy. See, this is a stack. This is a notebook. So let me see. Notebook. These are all the way you click on, you right click on a notebook, and you can rename the stack. You basically right click on an, excuse me, that's a stack, on a notebook. And this is where you create a stack. Let's see here. Remove from stack. Shoot, I forgot. I knew somebody was going to ask that. But somehow, once you have a bunch of notebooks, you can easily create a stack. And I'm sorry. Good question. Don't have the answer. But search in Evernote how to create a stack.
At the top it says plus, there's a little plus and it says new notebook.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned that, because let's say, let me find some. Okay, here's my podcast program files. See, now I'm in a notebook, and the notebook is called program file. How do I move that window at the top? Oh, there we go. You see at the very top it says new note in podcast program files. So I just created a new note, and then I title it. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I didn't show you how to start your notebooks. I'm going to say program idea for Evernote. Say I want to do a podcast, and then here I just start putting all my stuff in here. So that's how you create a new note within a notebook. You can also do that on your smart device. And if for some reason they get put in the wrong place, you can always just drag things to other notebooks. You know, you can drag it somewhere else, or you can rearrange. These are, you can change the, so no, this is alphabetical with the notebooks. Let's say I wanted to move something from one stack to another. I would just drag it to another stack. See over here.
Okay, and Paige said that stacking is shown in the video that you sent out also.
Good. Great.
Um,
You don't have to start with stacks. You could just start. In fact, I recommend people you just start by creating a whole bunch of notebooks if you want. But then you'll begin. In fact, I'd get out a piece of paper and then start saying, all right, what would be the big stacks in my life? And then you can start creating those stacks. But you don't start with stacks. You start with notebooks. And after you have a bunch of notebooks, then you start organizing them in stacks.
And are the stacks available on, do you know, on every account? Somebody asked, Elena asked. Yes. Okay. And then here's a good question from Paige. So for instance, in the example, the Juice Plus customer survey example that I just gave, would you take a picture of that survey and file it, or would you scan it and file it, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I would probably scan it because, but now Evernote actually has on your smartphone, Evernote has a feature where it'll actually scan it for you with your camera.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Let's see. If you were to drag two notes on top of each other, would that make a stack similar to?
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, there's a way to make stacks, and
Okay, so let's see. Can you change a note into a notebook, or a notebook into a note?
no, a notebook is like a physical notebook that has a bunch of notes in it.
Okay.
So once you have a notebook, it's filled with notes, but you can't make a notebook into a note.
Okay. Viv Hammond asked, I downloaded the program on my PC and it showed up on my iPhone, which I then installed. Will it show up on my iPad also? Yes.
Yeah, you have to install the app on your iPad as well.
Okay. Awesome. Can you post the video link? Yes, we can post the video link. Okay, for existing customers where we've written a lot of notes already, is it best to take a picture and save that? I would save
No, it's best if it's I would assume they would have made notes in Word or something, right?
Unless they wrote it on paper. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, if they wrote it on paper, yeah, just
Take a picture.
scan it or just photograph it. But if it's in Word, you just copy and paste the text.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited because these are notebooks that I currently am using on my desk, full of notes and trainings and ideas and different things. I cannot wait to get those off my desk and into Evernote.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's all handwritten stuff, right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to get your assistant busy typing, huh?
Or just taking a picture of my notes and scan it in. Okay, what do you do if you've created a note that you'd like to move under another notebook? Can you drag and drop it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. See, I just clicked on a note.
Mm-hmm.
And I right-clicked, and it says Move to Notebook, and I do that, and it gives me all my notebooks.
Great.
Very easy to move notes from one. It's easy to move notes from one notebook to another. It's easy to move notebooks from one stack to another.
Did I see a notebook called Libations go by?
Yes, you did.
We were doing wine tasting out in Napa before the conference, and somebody who was an Evernote user was taking pictures of the different wine labels of the wines they liked and popping it into their Evernote for future reference.
Yeah, you mean like here's Sean's whiskey. There you go, right there. There's Sean's whiskey list that he gave me the other day when I was at your house. And by the way, that was taken with the Evernote camera. Yep. White wines, yeah. I'm guilty. I've got to get away from that. Donna's getting embarrassed, I know. Okay. Any other questions that came up? I'm looking myself at the Q&A.
Let's see. If you were to take a picture of your notes, can you search the text within the image? Probably not, but you could name it.
No, you can't.
You could probably name it something that would be searchable.
Yeah, and right, and I think it does have an OCR, optical character reader function that can translate. You'll have to experiment this. I've never done it where it'll translate make it into a PDF that might be searchable,
Hmm.
but I've never done that. Okay, I'm looking at the questions too.
I think we got him.
Okay, I think we're
Hans,
good.
thank you so much for your time and your energy to put together this beautiful presentation for us. I am very inspired to start doing this, and I know you are a very, very busy person and a huge life, and we just really appreciate your knowledge and your experience that you've already been able to pass on to us. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Glad to help.
And here's to working smarter rather than harder, right? Can't wait to
Yeah.
declutter. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us, and we will put this video in the Peak Team Dropbox so that you can refer back to this if you have questions, and refer your team members to this as well. So
Yeah, and my notes will also be there.
perfect. And we have lots of thank yous coming on the screen. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.